good evening to you and welcome to Dott Television's News at 4. I am Nkechi Chukwudi. Here are stories we have for you. Women in politics under Women in Inter-Party Relations have been inaugurated in Delta State, with Annabelle Cosmos emerging as the Delta State coordinator of the group. The group is for women in politics from different registered political parties in the state, united under a common goal of supporting women to excel in politics. Speaking, the state coordinator of the group, Annabelle Cosmos, said that it is necessary they participate actively in political activities in the state, like their male counterpart. She encouraged the newly inaugurated members of the group to come up with ideas that will grow the group.
We want our voice to be heard. They must hear our voice. You see women in some countries today, they are presidents, they are governors, they are this. But in that state today, we've not been given the privilege to hold this position. But as I'm speaking to you today, we have women that are contesting for the position of governance today in that state. And we are going to support, we are going to promote these people that are already in that position. We are starting at the grassroots level for us, for the governor to know that these women are ready and tomorrow they are going to sit on this seat. So we are not going to give the men, we are not saying we are going to fight them, but we are going to support our own. We are going to support the women because the women, they are our own.
Also speaking at the event, former chairman of IPAC Delta State and SSA to the governor on inter-party relations, Emeka Bidoku, asked the women to support the state government in developing the state while aligning with their party's goals and manifestos.
Every angle, I feel like the women, they are making waves. Go to London, the most affordable woman in London politics today. She's a Nigerian woman, and she's making waves, even if it was not born in London person. But she's making waves there among white men and everywhere. So when you speak out, you'll be heard. When you speak out, the same majority will have their way, but minority will always have their say. Let your say be heard. Let your say matter. So at the end of the day, we'll say, okay, they will count you among the people that matter. It's not going to be an easy journey. It's a journey where you contribute whatever you have. Strive hard to make sure you succeed.
Meanwhile, as Nigeria moves closer to another general election cycle, political activities are gradually gathering momentum as parties begin preparations for the contest ahead. Our correspondent Cynthia Adanaya spoke with representatives of political parties on their readiness ahead of the elections. The report.
Political parties remain central to Nigeria's democratic process, providing platforms for candidates seeking elective offices and mobilizing citizens to participate in governance. As preparations intensify, parties across the country are strengthening their structures, engaging with the public, and positioning candidates they believe can address the nation's pressing challenges. Party representatives say they are committed to grassroots mobilization and promoting peaceful participation throughout the electoral process.
In every election, grassroots matters a lot. So we are dipping deep into our grassroots, and all hands has been on deck to see how to encourage our people in the grassroots.
Speaking on youth participation, a political party representative urged young Nigerians not to allow themselves to be used as political talks, vote bias agents, or perpetrators of electoral violence. Citizens were also encouraged to vote peacefully and choose candidates based on competence, integrity, and their capacity to serve the public interest.
With the situation of this country now, with what is happening both in our economy, both in the insecurity and others, I expect every Nigerian voters to come out en masse and vote their right candidates. And say no to rigging. Say no to vote buying, and say no to other nonsense during the election.
Meanwhile, some Nigerians expressed their expectations of political parties and candidates ahead of the election, calling for leaders who genuinely care about citizens' welfare rather than making empty campaign promises. They also urged fellow citizens not to sell their vote for temporary financial gain, stressing that the country's future depends on the informed choices at the polls.
Basic amenities, good governance, that's what we need. Not promise and fail, not the people that will come in and deceive us. They'll tell us they will do this, they will not do what they promise us to do. That's what we want basically. I want to encourage my fellow citizens or fellow Nigerians, please vote wisely, don't sell your votes. Vote for those that are trusted, that you know can perform perfectly well, not those that will build bridges on air. We don't want such candidate, please. Vote for the rightful candidate. That's what I want.
As political parties continue their preparations for the general election, stakeholders say the success of Nigerian democracy depends on the peaceful participation, informed choices, and responsible leadership. Many Nigerians are also looking beyond campaign promises, seeking leaders with a genuine commitment to improving the lives of the people. Reporting from Asaba, Cynthia Adenaya, Dot TV News.
Afrobeats star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has taken a swipe at the Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo, hours after the governor mocked his uncle, Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke, over his frequent dancing at public events. Davido reacted by sharing what appeared to be Okpebolo's West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WASC) result on his Instagram story, a move many social media users interpreted as a response to the governor's remarks. The comments captured in a video circulating on social media showed Okpebolo addressing supporters at a political gathering where he criticized Adeleke's leadership style while urging residents not to vote for him. Speaking at the event, Okpebolo mocked Adeleke over his habit of dancing at official functions. Hours after the comments circulated online, Davido responded by posting what appeared to be the Edo State Governor's WAEC certificate on his verified Instagram story without adding any caption. The document shared by the singer showed grades including D7 in Commerce, Christian Religious Knowledge, Economics and English Language, E8 in Government, and C5 in Mathematics. The Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC) has inaugurated reconciliation committees ahead of 2027 general elections. Speaking during the inauguration on Thursday, the national chairman of the party, Moses Cleopas, named Professor Pat Utomi as chairman of the committee and Buba Galadima as co-chairman. Cleopas urged the committee to discharge its assignment with fairness, impartiality, integrity, and absolute fidelity to the constitution of the party. He asked members of the committee to listen patiently, engage widely, reconcile sincerely, and recommend boldly where necessary, and also allow justice and the overall interest of the party guide every decision they make. In the meantime, the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, has raised an alarm over a suspicious credit into one of his private bank accounts domiciled with one of Nigeria's leading commercial banks. Atiku, who is also the 2027 presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, said the bank transfer originated from a person totally unknown to him with the narration, "Contribution Electioneering Campaign." The former vice president, in a statement by his SSA on public communication, Frank Shaibu, said neither he nor his campaign solicited or authorized or has any knowledge of the individual or entity behind the unauthorized payment. And back in Delta State, away from politics, a realtor and attorney representing Moltech Resources Limited, Samuel Mora, has dismissed allegations of land grabbing and intimidation leveled against him by some members of Amachai community in Okpanam, Delta State. Mora made the clarification while addressing journalists in Asaba, where he responded to accusations that he used the police to threaten residents and illegally seize land belonging to members of the community, maintaining that his actions were backed by a valid court judgment and due legal process. Priscilla Ifeanyi completes that report.
Recall that members of the Amachai community in Opanam, Oshimili North local government area of Delta State recently staged a peaceful protest at the Delta State Government House in Asaba over an alleged land dispute involving engineer Sam Mora. The protesters claimed that the dispute has resulted in the destruction of homes, farmlands and crops belonging to members of the community.
For the past 3 months, Delta State Police and the CP now inside our bush, Buffalo Squad, now inside our bush, they scatter. They scatter. They don't destroy our farmland. People building. Now go stand for the picture. They don't destroy. They intimidate us. He said, "Now he gets Nigerian police. Say nobody fear arrest them. Someone I go fear arrest us. But if we go police made them arrest them, they say they don't give them paper that is above the law."
Responding to the allegations, Engineer Mora described the claims that he forcefully took over community land and used the police to harass residents as forced and malicious, alleging that they were intended to tarnish his reputation. He explained that he acted strictly in his capacity as attorney to Maltech Resources Limited and relied entirely on the lawful court processes in dealing with the disputed property.
Some persons have decided to malign my name in a protest that has gone viral, okay? And I've been receiving calls from business partners, associates, with regards to the public for the protests. The protesters have mentioned my name. I've said a lot of things that I have to actually clear the air on the matter. Our company, who I represent as the attorney, the acquired vast area of land at Amachai through one Honorable Emeka Madu, who is now late, one of the group, because they are not carried along and they don't see the proceeds. They also decided to sell 1,000 and also 800 to Matek.
Engineer Mora presented a document showing that the police verified the court judgment, which was confirmed to be valid and without any stay of execution. According to him, this affirms that all actions taken in respect of the property were lawful and in compliance with the court's directive.
There's been multiple petitions saying that the judgment we are parading is a fake judgment. Now, it's a fake judgment. Police came in to investigate. They brought in police by petition that what we are doing with a fake judgment, that the warrant of possession, the enforcement will do that is execution with whatever we are doing, that's where everything is fake. So what do we do? We now, police investigated and found out that everything was correct.
He further alleged that his life has been threatened by some individuals from the Amachai community over the dispute, adding that despite the situation, he remains committed to pursuing a lawful resolution of the matter.
Some attempts have been made on my life by these people quietly, has made me to apply for police escorts. That decided to protect myself because the experiences of being abducted and tortured, you don't think anybody would like to experience it. So we prevent it as much as possible, and I'm ready to protect myself anytime, any day.
Engineer Mora maintained that the legal document presented vindicated him of the allegations. He reaffirmed his commitment to resolving the dispute within the confines of the law and urged members of the public to disregard what he described as false and misleading claims. Reporting from Asaba, Priscilla Ifanye, Dott TV News.
Of Police Delta State Command Yemi Oyeniyi has convened a high-level stakeholders security meeting as part of the command's proactive strategy to strengthen community participation, improve intelligence gathering, and enhance crime prevention across Delta State. The meeting brought together Delta State Cabinet members, local government chairmen, representatives of sister security agencies, leaders of herders, cattle breeders, butchers, and market unions.
In his keynote address, the Commissioner of Police stressed that security is everyone's responsibility and that effective crime prevention requires the collective commitment of government, security agencies, community leaders, and organized associations. He disclosed that intelligence available to the command indicate that criminal elements are increasingly infiltrating legitimate occupations and trade groups to perpetuate kidnapping, drug trafficking, the sale of stolen livestock, and other criminal activities. To address these threats, the CP directed leaders of the various associations to strengthen internal accountability by ensuring that all members are properly identified, profiled, and registered.
We need the attention of the local government chairman to be focused on it, to focus on this cattle market in the rural area, to see how we are going to know those who are doing the activities in that place, how we are going to provide them, and how we are going to monitor them, and how we are also going to monitor this market.
He charged market unions and relevant stakeholders to work closely with the police to rid markets and their surroundings of criminality, enforce reasonable market closing hours, and promptly report suspicious persons and activities.
To make sure that we know those who are going in there and those who are going in out there, the closing time, the opening time, to enable us to regulate it. It is without regulation now. People coming from different parts, from those whom we have arrested, from those whom we have provided, from those whom we have interrogated, we see that that sector needs to be monitored.
Speaking on behalf of the local government chairman and chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Delta State Chapter Azaya Onorode Esiwa, pledged the commitment of council to supporting police in strengthening grassroots security and emphasized that diligent prosecution of offenders would serve as a deterrent to criminality.
The council chairmen are ready to synergize with you. Police too, to assist us, or if we take it seriously, if one or two persons is dealt with, then other will take correction.
I want to suggest that in profiling them, those who occupy those markets should be a joint force between the council and the police force.
This is the crisis between the herders and the farmers. It's as a result of these unknown shepherds. So I want to thank the command for identifying this fact. This timing is very, very necessary, because if you leave it open, you see them moving up and down, committing all manners of crimes.
The meeting concluded with stakeholders resolving to strengthen intelligence sharing, improve accountability within their respective associations, and sustain collaboration with the Delta State Police Command to enhance public safety and prevent crime across the states. Priscilla Ifani, Dott TV News.
Still to come on the news at 4, 14-year-old teenager kills grandparents and 6 others in Thailand school shooting. And that's on the foreign scene. We also have sports stories for you when we return. Please stay on.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Essay. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706 701 8400. 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Boko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Hot Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Welcome back. Now to the rest of our stories. Medical doctors under the aegis of Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academic has said that the union will commence strike action after the 3 weeks extension of ultimatum earlier issued to the federal government. The doctors had issued an earlier ultimatum to the federal government over non-prioritization of medical education and training, despite the scarcity of medical and dental doctors and the Japa syndrome in the country. However, the Directorate of State Security Services and other friends of the union intervened, but the federal government did not hearken to their demands at the expiration of the ultimatum. In a communique jointly signed by the national president of the association, Nosa Lansi Ohewe, and security Anya Kompita, after emergency meeting, the association stated that it would commence strike on August 31st, 2026, after extension of the ultimatum for 3 weeks to consider whether the federal government will hearken to their demands. And now to the foreign scene. A suspected teenage gunman has killed at least 5 people at a school in Thailand after fatally shooting his grandparents. National Police spokesman Trairang Pihawan said the attack took place in Debisirin Nontaburi School in the Ban Krai district on the northwestern outskirts of Bangkok on Friday. Police said the suspected gunman was also dead. In a statement, police said the suspected gunman shot and killed both his grandparents at their home before opening fire at the school. The suspected perpetrator was identified as a student, but no further details were provided. At least 23 people were injured in the attack. Police also said that the attacker fired at least 26 bullets and was found with 34 additional ammunition rounds, and the gun had belonged to his grandfather. Floods in India's northeast have killed nearly 100 people, according to the official toll update on Friday, with villages buried in mud after one of Assam state's worst deluges in years. At least 97 people have died in the floods in Assam that have affected nearly 170,000, including thousands who have been forced into temporary shelters as swollen rivers inundate homes and farmland. Floodwaters have submerged more than 40,000 hectares of cropland, an area almost 1.5 times the size of Paris. Assam Chief Minister Himantam Biswa Sarman posted a video on Friday of him consoling the parents of a 13-year-old boy who died while trying to rescue his pet dog from floodwaters. The US economy is creating fewer jobs than expected, with the employment market performing weaker during the summer than previously thought, official figures show. There was a surprise shedding of 23,000 jobs last month, with declines driven by cuts in local government, education, and retail roles, despite analysts predicting the growth. The Bureau of Labor Statistics have revised down the number of jobs added in May and June by 103,000, signaling a slow summer of job creation. The latest figures raise questions over what the U.S. Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, will decide to do with interest rates next month after keeping them on hold all of this year. For sports stories, let's join Dott Television's Anthony Uche.
Nigeria's continental representatives have discovered their preliminary round opponents for the 2026-2027 CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup campaigns, scheduled to begin between the 19th and 28th of September. In the Champions League, Enugu Rangers open at home against AS Sobemap of Benin Republic, while Rivers United travel to face Ivorian side FC San Pedro in their first leg fixture. Meanwhile, the Confederation Cup presents a far stiffer challenge for Nigeria's entrance as Shooting Stars contend with record three-time champions CS Sfaxien of Tunisia and El Kanemi Warriors face Benin Republic's UDIB, with the winner ending a daunting showdown against Moroccan giants Raja Casablanca. Real Madrid have secured the signing of 19-year-old Ivory Coast winger Yan Diomande from RB Leipzig in a landmark deal worth up to 140 million euros. The teenager has committed his future to the Spanish giants on a 7-year contract with a structure that could make him more expensive than Jude Bellingham's 133 million euros move from Borussia Dortmund in June 2023. Should performance-related add-ons trigger the maximum payout, Diomande will become the fourth most expensive player in football history, behind only Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and Alexander Isak. The transaction also sets a new benchmark for African football, eclipsing the previous £72 million transfer fee established by Nicolas Pepe when he moved to Arsenal in 2019. Diomande is Real Madrid's sixth signing under head coach Jose Mourinho, joining Bernardo Silva, Ibrahima Konate, Denzel Dumfries, Marco Correa, and Carlos SP. Still on Real Madrid, Vinicius Jr. has agreed a 6-year contract, extending the Brazilian international's stay at Real Madrid until June 2032. Negotiations had previously reached a stalemate with the 26-year-old in the final 12 months of his previous deal, sparking interest from Premier League champions Arsenal. However, breakthrough talks resumed on Wednesday after the Spanish club submitted an improved offer that successfully met the player's terms. Since joining from Flamengo in 2018, the winger established himself as a central figure for Real Madrid, recording 128 goals in 375 appearances, whilst earning 54 caps and 13 goals for Brazil. Over his 8-year tenure in the Spanish capital, Vinicius Jr. helped the club secure 2 Champions League trophies, 3 La Liga trophies, a Copa del Rey, solidifying his commitment to the club following 18 months of ongoing contract discussions. And finally, European football federations continue to consider boycotting major competitions, including the World Cup, after UEFA dismissed FIFA's defense of President Gianni Infantino as inadequate. The dispute stems from Infantino's controversial FIFA Forward Enterprise proposal to sell stakes in men's and women's World Cups to private investors in exchange for offering member associations $40 million in support. Despite FIFA aborting the plan and acknowledging procedural errors, the English FA, alongside the Welsh FA, formally withdrew their backing for Infantino, and UEFA reaffirmed its total loss of confidence in his leadership. Anthony Uche reporting for Dott TV News.
That's it for Dott Television's news at 4 p.m. Thanks for watching. I am Nkechi Chukwudi. Bye-bye.